People just got finished with Bleach chapter 541. I figure I might as well make a vid for it since, it's a pretty good chapter. It's titled The Blade and Me. So basically we start off with Ichigo thinking back to when he first met Juhaba and how he automatically knew where he was with no information, and how come when he saw Juhaba he thought he looked like someone else, and then we flashed to a picture of Zangetsu. So now we flash it back to present and whatnot. Ichigo's in his own world and he's asking Zangetsu what's the deal, and he's screaming, "Are you an enemy or are you an ally?" And the false Zangetsu's "I'm neither an enemy nor an ally. I'm simply the manifestation of your Quincy powers." And Ichigo's looking all confused, like he's about to cry and shit. So the false Zangetsu is he's been lying this whole time about being Ichigo's power, because apparently he didn't want Ichigo to become a Shinigami in the first place, because he didn't want to have to kill Ichigo with his own hands in battle. So he calls out his sword and then he starts explaining himself I went so far as to become your main source of power because I didn't want you to become a Shinigami because I felt it would be too dangerous, and then he's he felt it would be too hectic. So I'm okay, well, I didn't expect that, because the way it sounds, if this false Sengetsu has fatherly feelings for Ichigo. Basically he goes on to explain how at the start he wanted to suppress Ichigo's Shinigami abilities, so that's why he went to such a full extent. But then over time he saw how hard Ichigo would work as a Shinigami, so he had a change of heart, and he now wants to do, well, not now, but he started to want to do everything in his power to help Ichigo succeed and strengthen himself. So I didn't expect that, truthfully. I expected more of a negative confrontation, not the whole, well, I saw how hard you're working and I had a change of heart. Even though Juhaba, well, false Sengetsu, I don't know what to fucking call him, so I'm just calling him false Sengetsu. But anyway, it's I didn't expect him. He sounds like Ichigo's father. You know what I'm saying? Basically, it's on some serious shit. He sounds like a fucking father to Ichigo. Hell, I half expected him to be yeah, well, I'm actually your father, not Ishin. I expected him to say some shit like that, the way it was going. But then he explains to Ichigo, haven't you noticed that whenever you were in trouble and whenever your life was in danger, your hollow came to save you, not me. And then I was looking back at it yeah, he's right. You never really see Sengetsu, well, false Sengetsu, come and save Ichigo. You always see the hollow Ichigo come out or manifest or do whatever, or come out in the mask form, whatever the fuck he does, that creepy ass laugh. And when shit's over, he's don't die, I need this body, or some shit like that, because he's a fucking asshole. And then he starts fading after his whole speech about how he now wants Ichigo to become as strong as he can be, and his change of heart. He calls out an energy version of his sword, and he starts fading, and he says, now this is the final thing I can do. So he fades and fades and fades. Ichigo tries to rush over there and wait, I'm not done, I still have shit to say. And he's no, we're done talking, here's the real Zangetsu. Because basically he's turning into Reiatsu, I assume, and you see his head left over, and then you see his energy sword, and then you see a hilt hidden away, and that's it. A bright flash of light. That's the end of the chapter. Honestly, I was hoping to see the new Zangetsu, but at least it builds some anticipation, and now we learned why the false Zangetsu, or Juhaba, whatever you want to call him, has been doing this. It's simpler than I thought it was, but at the same time, I also didn't expect it to take a turn for the whole fatherly feeling direction of where, oh, at first I was here to hinder you, but now I'm going to help you. You know what I'm saying? I like you, I like the way you work hard, so now I'm going to help you get as strong as you can be. So here's the real Zangetsu. Bye. But then it's like, I also thought, like, if that's the case, then does that mean Ichigo is going to lose all access to his possible future Quincy abilities? Because, I mean, like, we already saw he can use the blue vein. I mean, well, subconsciously he can use it. But it's like, now that the false Zangetsu is fading, like, is he going to be going completely to the point of where it's just going to be hollow Shinigami powers? Like, no more Quincy? Like, what's going on? So I'm like, okay, I like this chapter because now it builds anticipation and it revealed more of the story. You know, I mean, not as much as I would have liked, but it revealed a small amount because last chapter I was like, what the fuck is going on? And, you know, so it's been revealed. It didn't take too long. It wasn't like, oh, we're gonna flash back to some hidden plot shit. You know, I mean, that might come. Who knows? I mean, you know, this is the fucking final arc. Everything's going down now. Everything's free reign in the open. So who knows? That might come in the future. But I'm just glad it didn't come now because I didn't really want it to be like 4 or 5 chapters. You know, I mean, it was like basically 1.5 chapters between, you know, this full chapter and the later half of the last chapter. So I was like, fuck it, this was good. You know, I mean, it's a pretty great chapter. I don't rate my shit, so, you know, all I'm going to say is it's great. You know, I'm going to include a link in the description box, so feel free to read it for yourselves. And, you know, you can get your own take on it if you want. I mean, that's all I got to say. I'm out of here. You guys have a good day or night or whatever, wherever you're at, you know. I'm out. Peace.